I want, first of all, to thank you for your participation into this public speaking and exchange event. This public speaking and exchange event is for young people. We have to know this. Why? Because we, the young people of this country and the other countries in the region or in the world, because we need the space. We need the space to contribute our thoughts to peace building. Does everyone understand what peace means, at least in your own words? Do you? Do you know what peace means? You could have your own understanding of peace, but I think it becomes even more interesting when we are given a right opportunity to share our understanding with others and be able to exchange on what each of us can contribute towards finding peace among ourselves. So we started the public speaking as a competition. That was in 2011. Usually this is something that was famous with the English-speaking union as a format. But we were trying to discuss about what we, the young people, can bring as a contribution to the reconstruction process for our country after the genocide, being reconciliation, being how youth can contribute more meaningfully to the commemoration that takes place every year, and how broadly everyone can bring meaningful thoughts that can guide our programming as people working in the peace building area. So that is how the event started. When we started the event, it was more of a competition, competing, pitching the best speech and looking at who has the best arguments and who has probably won in style, which proved in the end not to be the most important element we were looking for into the speeches. And we decided to keep it as an open space for all of us to exchange. And that's why we are here today. Those who are going to speak, I am very sure, had an opportunity to work with colleagues in schools to get their ideas, to build their speeches, and to make sure that at least they are not talking for themselves. So you guys are the best stakeholders into this peace-building process, and we commit our support to your initiatives here in the school and in the community.
And students who are present here today, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Celestine Duimana. Celestine Duimana. Very beautiful names, Celestine Duimana. And after realizing that the way we address our thoughts affect the non-violence status, we provide the topic from where I choose to discuss the following title. Do my thoughts affect the culture of non-violence? The Macmillan School Dictionary defines thoughts as ideas or opinions about something, and defines violence as the intentional use of strong force that usually results into harms. Along my speech, I believe to convince all of you that we need to manage our anger, to discuss, not to oppose people exploiting media, participating in clubs and other extracurricular activities, so that we build up a culture of non-violence. Young people, isn't it useful? And you curious? Of course you are. So follow me now, please. Ladies and gentlemen, our region is having young people who do not master well to manage their anger. This is proved by the presence of young people in M23, FDLR, Los Resistance Army, and other rebels here in the region. When they are angry, they go on killing, they go on leaping, they go on terrorizing people. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to declare this solution that for embracing the culture of nonviolence, young people must learn about anger management. I say this because we are not living in a perfect world. Sometimes we need a change. But we must remember that in our lovely Great Lakes region, we no longer need violent aggression for change. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to advance your idea, make it easy. Say it peacefully, and we will understand. Because even Pope John Paul II said that social justice can't be attained by violence because violence kills what it intends to create. Furthermore, ladies and gentlemen, our region experienced leaders who forced people to accept some things, like Idi Amin Dada of Uganda. His imposition and terrorism to people resulted to the death of many innocent people. You can find this on www.peacedialect.org. Ladies and gentlemen, as Albert Einstein said that we can't solve problems using the same thinking we used when we created them. That's why my classmates and I proposed a solution. Ladies and gentlemen, we propose that if you want your thoughts to be acted, if you want your thoughts to be put into actions, please let them be discussed. Do not impose people doing some things. Because the more you impose people to do some things, is the more you violate their rights, the more you violate democracy. And we're in democratic region. Ladies and gentlemen, do not think that I'm irrelevant to call young people leaders. It's because I respect a Rwandan who said that igiti kigororwa kikiri gito. To mean, if you want to collect someone, you start when he or she's young. So that's why I want you to start practicing this now, because you can't teach an old dog a new trick. In addition, friends, colleagues, sisters, and brethren, in our discussion at the school, we came to realize that many young people are not having a peaceful environment in which they can advance their ideas peacefully. And a violent environment caused them to be lewd and violent too. But at the end, we came out with an idea. You know what it is? We advise you all to exploit media. We advise you all to join clubs and participate in other extracurricular activities. How is it relevant, Celestine? It is relevant because instead of going on inserting with someone, you better advance your force through a melodious song. Why not a piece of sketch, a movie or a radio broadcast? Why not a TV show? All these, you can use them. We also have an internet which can help you to advance your message too far. Why can't you exploit that? Ladies and gentlemen, we advise you to exploit clubs and other extracurricular activities. Here we say like Burundians, you can join Kamenge Youth Center in Bujumbura. Rwandans, we have lovely Never Again Rwanda. Ugandans, you have Global Youth Peace Initiatives for Africa, and you can go there and peacefully discuss. Once done, I believe a change, a very considerable change in embracing the culture of non-violence in our region. To sum up, ladies and gentlemen, I was showing you how to advance our force peacefully would help in embracing an non-violent region. With a title, very good title, Do My Thoughts Affect the Culture of Non-Violence? I told you that we need to control our anger. We have to discuss, not to impose people acting our thoughts. We have to exploit media. We have to exploit clubs and other extracurricular activities so as to solve the problems of bad communication, my friend. Bad communication which results into violence in our region. So friends, brethren, and sisters, I encourage you all to follow me in my way of positively communicating to others so that we help each other building up a regional non-violence. Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you this because soft words win hard hearts. Why can't you join hands with me? Please, come on. Let's stand up together, and however you are not a scholar or not, just come on, we put hands together. I believe a change. I believe a change. Everlasting non-violence in our Great Lakes region. Thank you very much.
Exprimons nos opinions pacifiquement, promouvoir une culture de non-violence parmi les jeunes des régions des Grands Lacs. Mon discours s'est articulé à deux parties. La première partie, c'est de savoir la lutte contre les violences non paisiblement. Et la deuxième partie, je me suis concentrée à savoir comment lutter aux violences, mais pacifiquement. Pour commencer, la lutte contre les violences non paisiblement, c'est le moyen que nous pouvons utiliser pour lutter contre les violences, mais aussi en utilisant une autre violence. Mesdames et messieurs, il y a un exemple, vraiment ça m'a touché, mais mal. Le 24 décembre 2014, à Missouri, c'est là où un jeune noir appelé Michael Brown a été violé par un policier blanc, même il a perdu sa vie. Mais comme les membres de sa famille, ils ont déclaré que non, les choses ne vont pas terminer comme ça. Nous aussi, nous allons faire une autre violence comme il a fait à notre fils. Tandis que le président Barack Obama avait appelé aux habitants de manifester contre cette violence, mais pacifiquement. Ces moyens m'ont poussé à louer le moyen que nous pouvons utiliser, comme surtout nous les jeunes des régions des Grands Lacs, de lutter contre la violence, mais paisiblement. Comme le monsieur Eric Mahoro a dit, nous vivons pour les sociétés. Alors, à l'aide de mes collègues, nous avons résolu qu'il y a des moyens que nous pouvons utiliser. Le premier moyen que nous avons résolu, nous pouvons utiliser l'exercice de la loi parfaite. Par la loi parfaite, je dis que c'est une moyen que je trouvais que c'est très fort que nous pouvons utiliser pour contester aux violences, mais paisiblement. Mesdames et messieurs, il y a les citations anglaises de le monsieur Mahatma Gandhi, que nous tous nous connaissons. Il a aidé pour avoir l'indépendance aux Indiens. Il a dit, an unjust law is itself a violence. Ça veut dire que, aussi quand nous utilisons la loi, mais qui ne sont pas justes pour les gens, ça peut être aussi une violence. Prenez l'exemple dans notre pays, au district de Nyarugenge, dans le série de Kivu-Giza. C'est là où une petite fille de 12 ans, imaginons, elle a été violée par leur domestique Sylvestre. Aussi, elle a perdu sa vie. Mais pour punir Sylvestre, au lieu de la roi de Rwanda d'utiliser une autre violence, comme il avait commis à cette petite fille, ils ont utilisé la loi. Comme si Sylvestre a été puni en utilisant la loi, sans commettre une autre violence. Il y a un autre moyen que nous avons trouvé, c'est les sensibilisations du peuple. Comme nous les jeunes, c'est une partie que nous pouvons y mettre beaucoup de force, parce que c'est là où nous tenons une grande partie, nous pouvons y participer. Prenez l'exemple, le divertissement. Nous les jeunes, nous aimons des films, nous aimons des poèmes, des musiques, c'est là où nous participons beaucoup. Mais aussi nous pouvons l'utiliser pour arriver à beaucoup de gens en leur montrant qu'il y a beaucoup de moyens de lutter contre les violences, mais pacifiquement, sans créer une autre violence. Le deuxième moyen, nous avons trouvé, à l'aide de mes collègues, nous avons trouvé que les éducations communautaires, là où nous pouvons organiser des campagnes parmi les jeunes des régions des Grands Lacs, nous pouvons partager des idées et comme ça nous pouvons arriver à beaucoup de gens pour leur montrer que la lutte contre les violences s'est faite mais pacifiquement. Il y a beaucoup de moyens, j'en passe. Et finalement, mesdames et messieurs, permettez-moi de vous parler de mots qui m'ont vraiment convaincu que je veux vous aussi que vous sachiez. Un homme a dit, on vous a dit œil pour œil, dent pour dent. Mais moi, je vous dis, ne riposte pas aux méchants. Et nous, les jeunes, pourquoi pas dire, souffrons que faire souffrir. Comme ça, nous le vaincrons par notre souffrance. Merci, mesdames et messieurs. S'il y a quelques incompréhensions, des commentaires, vous avez la voix au chapitre. Merci de votre attention.